7 days before the wedding, Daniel shaved off all my long hair while I was asleep. That same night, Lily showed up with her seductive curls draped over her shoulders, coming to apologize. Sorry, Zoe. I was just messing around with Daniel. I told him I shaved my head to become a nun. I didn't expect that just to please me. He'd not only shave his own head but also shave yours too. Daniel probably thought I'd make a huge fuss, so he hurriedly stepped in front of her protectively. It was my idea to shave your hair. It had nothing to do with Lily. Don't take it out on her. Besides, hair will grow back. We can just wear wigs for the wedding, right? Don't you think? What he didn't know was, I no longer planned to marry him. My parents had found me a month ago and asked me to move abroad to live with them. And just now, I had bought a one-way ticket to Country F. Chapter 1. 8 years of relationship. And I had no intention of turning this farewell into some dramatic mess, so I didn't retaliate with harsh words. I just stayed silent, quietly watching him. Zoe. I mean, it was thoughtless of me this time. Daniel's head slowly lowered under the weight of my silence as he tried to take my hand. But before he could finish, Lily jumped out from behind him right on cue. She pouted. Zoe. Don't be mad at Daniel. You guys are about to get married. This isn't the time to throw a tantrum. And didn't my brother shave his head with you too? I stared at the girl pretending to be innocent in front of me, suddenly finding it all incredibly ironic. My expression must have struck a nerve in Lily, because her face instantly stiffened, then shifted into a look of wronged fragility. Zoe, will you only be satisfied if I shave my hair too? Her reddened eyes made it look like I was the villain here. Sure, I smiled faintly, eyes locked on her long, shiny black hair. If you want to shave it, go ahead. After all, this started because of you. Lily didn't expect me to say that. Her breathing faltered. 2 seconds of panic, and then she composed herself, with teary eyes. She picked up the scissors from the table, looking up at Daniel, her gaze full of shimmering tears. As long as Zoe's happy, I'll do anything. Daniel's face turned darker. It's just hair. If my sister shaving it can help Zoe forgive you, I don't mind at all. After saying that, she shut her eyes tight, face twisted in a show of pain. She even started wailing dramatically as she raised her hand, playing the victim to perfection. As expected, the very next second, a strong hand snatched the scissors from Lily's grip. Clang! They hit the floor hard. Chapter 2. Daniel's face turned extremely dark. Zoe. Lily is still young. Can't you cut her some slack? I was the one who shaved your head. What does she have to do with it? It's just hair. Do you really need to make such a fuss and force her to cut hers too? His brows furrowed deeply. Lily has always loved beauty since she was little. If she loses her hair, how will she face people? Do you not understand how much that would hurt her emotionally? Can't you be more obedient and stop being so unreasonable? Listening to him, my nose stung. It felt like all the years I had invested were a complete joke. Daniel, I'm your girlfriend, your fiancé. I clenched my fists, trying to keep my voice steady. Something I said must have triggered him, and he suddenly became agitated. His voice was angry, veins bulging from his neck. Zoe, what are you insinuating? I only see Lily as a sister. Our relationship is pure. Stop being so suspicious all the time. This was a small incident. Why do you always have to harp on everything? Then he grabbed Lily's hand and turned to leave. Before walking out, he gave me a deep look. Zoe, think about it properly. It's bad luck to see each other before the wedding. Let's not meet these next few days. It was just a little prank. Don't tell anyone. It would be bad for Lily. Through it all, Daniel only ever stood on Lily's side. Never once did he think of me. The sound of the door closing echoed. His last sentence still rang in my ears. 7 days from now, I'll still come to marry you. I bitterly tilted my head toward the ceiling. Daniel, I will not marry you. Not now. Not ever. Chapter 3. The sun had long set outside the window. I sat on the balcony, staring blankly at the bustling traffic below. After a while, I pulled out my phone from my pocket. Weibo showed that someone I frequently checked had posted. Thinking it was Daniel, I tapped it open. To my surprise, it was Lily. A 1-minute video, blue skies, white clouds, and tall camphor trees buzzing with cicadas. Daniel stood under the tree, smiling gently at the person recording. Lily, look, our childhood carvings are still on the tree trunk. The breeze ruffled his hair. He looked so charming, while I sat alone in the dark. They were laughing and revisiting memories. The video caption read, "Luckily, the you from back then is still by my side." Clueless netizens were moved by their intimate behavior and flooded the post with blessings. Childhood sweethearts. So perfect. This is straight out of a romance drama. I'm jealous, God. Let them marry already. Everyone knows I work at the marriage bureau. One compliment after another, bright and cruel. It felt like a heavy weight pressing on my chest, making it hard to breathe. Not long after, Lily replied to a comment. Don't misunderstand. Everyone. Brother is getting married soon. His fiancée is very beautiful. She even tagged me sweetly at the end. In just 2 minutes, my Weibo was overrun. The comments and private messages were vicious. Homewrecker, fake innocent, side chick. Someone even told me to die. My hand trembled as I held the phone. Old memories surged back. I suddenly remembered the past. Chapter 4. Daniel and I met in college. During the freshman welcome event, he stepped in to protect me from someone who maliciously tried to make me drink. After that, we started getting to know each other. By the second semester of our first year, he began pursuing me. He brought me flowers, bought me gifts, picked me up and dropped me off from school. He was incredibly gentle. As someone who had grown up without parents, I quickly fell into the warmth of his affection. We got together during the first snowfall. He held me, warmed my hands, and smiled brightly. Zoe, how could I like you this much? Later, I found out about Lily. Daniel's explanation was, it was just a childhood engagement arranged by the adults, it doesn't count. Zoe, I've already broken it off. Lily is just like a sister to me. The only one I like is you. At first, Lily kept her distance, but gradually, she revealed her true nature. She ate Daniel's leftover cake, wore his pajamas, clung to his arm while shopping, and even slept in his bed. I remember once she leaned close to my ear and whispered, "Sis, don't you feel like you're the homewrecker here?" That time, I physically fought Lily. In return, Daniel gave me a full month of cold treatment. After that, Lily became even more brazen. In the past, I definitely would have caused a huge scene, but now, I expressionlessly read through all the vicious comments. Then I gave Lily's Weibo post a like. I pinched my own cheek lightly, then got up to start packing. It was time to leave. From now on, anything between Daniel and Lily had nothing to do with me. Chapter 5. 3 days later, the long quiet door was finally knocked on. Wearing slippers, I walked out of the bedroom and happened to see Daniel bending down at the entrance, changing his shoes. When he saw me, he smiled. Zoe, why haven't you replied to my messages these past few days? I was really worried about you. Suddenly, I remembered. These past few days, Daniel had been sending me messages and calling me, all of which I had ignored. I didn't feel like replying. Tired. Is that not allowed? I answered coldly. Daniel's smile froze on his face. Ignoring his expression, I turned to leave, but Daniel spoke first. Zoe, I came today to explain. He walked over and hugged me from behind, his chest pressing against my back. Slowly, he began explaining. Lily's just a kid. Don't take her too seriously. We grew up together. I'm about to get married. Of course she'd feel upset. But I swear, he raised his right hand, solemnly, eyes filled with sincerity. Nothing inappropriate has ever happened between us. I promise, after we're married, I'll keep my distance from her. Daniel spoke with seriousness, but my heart felt nothing. See? He knows exactly what should and shouldn't be done. I nodded indifferently, pulled away from his embrace, and looked straight into his eyes. But let me make one thing clear, I am not the third wheel between you two. You were the one who pursued me. I know. Daniel nodded quickly in agreement, then followed with something vague. Lily's just a kid, she was only joking. But I don't like it. Perhaps he hadn't expected me to be so firm. Daniel froze for a moment before realizing, then lowered his head to appease me. Baby, I said the wrong thing. You can scold me if you want. His voice carried affection and helplessness. When I didn't respond, His expression darkened for a moment. Daniel quickly hid his frustration and picked up a bag from the table. I saw someone wearing matching outfits at the park yesterday. I thought you'd like it, so I bought us a pair. Let's wear them together, okay? A heated kiss landed on my cheek. I stared blankly at the bag in his hand, momentarily dazed. Chapter 6. When we first got together, I was full of girlish dreams. I loved everything that came in pairs. Matching outfits, matching toothbrush cups, matching mugs, matching bracelets. But every time I excitedly showed Daniel the things I had carefully picked out, he would frown and pour cold water over my enthusiasm. Zoe, how old are you? Don't be so childish. Besides, Lily's still young. If she sees us like this, she'll throw a fit again. Lily was only 2 years younger than me, but in Daniel's eyes, she was always a child, someone he had to indulge no matter what. Back then, I felt both wronged and heartbroken, but now, I no longer need any of that. Just put it there. I wiped the contemplation from my face and spoke calmly. Seeing that my attitude had softened, Daniel took it as a good sign. He held my hand naturally and asked, Zoe, what's your wedding dress size? Is there one smaller? I pressed my lips together and didn't answer. Under my silent gaze, he stumbled to explain. Lily said if she can be our bridesmaid when we get married, she won't bother us anymore. Wouldn't that be nice for us? Ha! I laughed bitterly inside. Wearing the same dress as me at my own wedding. Are they afraid people won't notice their relationship? Disgusting. Daniel, you. Ding dong. The WeChat notification sound cut me off at the worst moment. It was a message from Lily. Daniel is such an idiot. He bought the matching outfits one size too big. It should fit you perfectly. Sis. Oh, and I really like your wedding dress. Remember to order one size smaller. At that moment, my blood boiled. Every ounce of grievance, pain, and restraint I had buried deep inside erupted all at once. Before I could think, I slapped Daniel hard across the face and shouted at him, You're not even a real man. Caught completely off guard, Daniel's expression turned furious. Zoe, are you insane? I'm insane? Who's really the crazy one here? I laughed coldly, forcing down the anger burning in my chest. Open your eyes. Daniel, this is your precious little sister, isn't it? Silence. A deathly silence. Daniel's defiance vanished instantly. His throat seemed stuck. After a long while, he finally managed to speak, his voice trembling. Lily, she's just a kid, right? No. This outfit, I had it custom made for you. He hurried to explain. I followed his words with a mocking tone. So, you can wear matching outfits with 2 people at the same time? Zoe, you're the only one I love. He panicked and tried to rush over and hug me. I stepped aside, dodging him. His arms froze in midair, and his eyes turned red in an instant. Zoe, can't you believe me? I truly want to marry you. He looked at me with desperate eyes, a little pitiful, but I no longer wanted to be entangled in this. I left Daniel standing there and turned around to shut the door. Whether his feelings were sincere or fake no longer mattered to me, because I no longer held any hopes for him. Chapter 7. That night, I had many dreams. The next morning, I woke up with a splitting headache. I shakily got out of bed, opened the door, and found the living room completely empty. I curled my lips in self-mockery. Sure enough, Daniel wasn't there, but there was steaming food on the dining table. This was the first time in all these years that Daniel had cooked for me. I remembered how Lily used to brag in front of me. Daniel is such a good cook. He can make anything. I bet you've eaten his cooking just as many times as I have. Right, sis? At the time, Lily's words always made my chest ache with anger. I would pester Daniel to cook for me, but he always came up with excuses to avoid it. And now, the thing I had long looked forward to suddenly came true. Yet I felt no joy. In fact, I felt nauseated. Without hesitation, I dumped everything on the table into the trash can. Then I began canceling everything: wedding dress, hotel. I had organized every detail of the wedding myself. Daniel had said he trusted me to handle it. Looking back now, it wasn't trust. He simply didn't care. Maybe, in his heart, the wedding was never important at all. Once everything was cancelled, I started throwing away furniture, the wedding candies. Since I was leaving, I'd make it thorough, no trace left behind. Just as I was packing up, an uninvited guest arrived. It was Daniel's mother. She was an elegant yet domineering woman. She had never liked me. As soon as she stepped in, she raised her voice and started yelling, "Zoe, didn't your mother ever teach you basic manners?" She knew I was an orphan. I clenched my fists and glared at her. She kept ranting, every word filled with resentment. "What are you staring at? You dare hit your husband before even marrying him? No wonder you're so poorly raised. If you were half as good as Lily, I wouldn't be this upset. Now you're getting married and won't even let Lily be a bridesmaid? So jealous. Always taking someone else's place and acting high and mighty like you deserve it. Do you have no shame?" Her voice was full of sarcasm and scorn. I refused to tolerate it anymore, and coldly snapped back, "If you like Lily that much, why don't you make her your daughter-in-law?" My words enraged her. She lunged at me with flailing arms, but I grabbed her wrist and slammed her down on the couch. "Auntie, you already know, I have no parents and no upbringing." I stared at her without blinking. She was startled by the coldness in my eyes, and timidly stood up. Before leaving, she spat out one last threat. "Zoe, just wait. I'll make sure you never marry into this family." Chapter 8. That night, Daniel came back, earlier than he ever had before. He looked at the empty house, the two stiff wooden beds, and the expression vanished from his face. He glanced at me a couple of times, as if he wanted to say something but held back. His gaze lingered on my face. Then Daniel forced a strained smile. "It's okay, Zoe. We're getting married soon anyway. It's better that the furniture is cleared out. After the wedding, we'll move into our new home." He rambled on, but he didn't say a single word about what happened that afternoon. I knew he knew. There's no way his mother wouldn't have ratted me out. After all, over the years, she always found ways to pick fights, claiming I was uncultured. At the slightest sign of trouble, she'd rush to tell Daniel everything. Because of her, Daniel and I had countless arguments. "It's late, Zoe. You should rest." As for the bridesmaid issue, he looked at my expression and hesitated. "We can talk about it later." Daniel wanted Lily to be the bridesmaid. His stammering, choked-up voice already gave his thoughts away. After a whole day of stress, I was mentally and physically exhausted. I turned around, dragging my tired body into the bedroom. Not long after, I heard sounds at the door, the lock turning, then the door opening and closing. Daniel had left. Let him go. I curled up under the blanket and thought, it's all about to end anyway. I'll be gone soon too. Chapter 9. A dreamless night. The next morning, I had just brushed my teeth and finished breakfast. Message notifications started coming in, one after another. I picked up my phone, opened Weibo, and when I saw the #1 trending topic headline, I couldn't help but laugh. Finally, I understood what Daniel's mother meant yesterday when she said, "Just wait." At 2 a.m., Lily had posted a Weibo entry, dramatically embellishing her story with Daniel. It was intense, tragic, and heart-wrenching, like a doomed romance novel. And in this story, I was the shameless mistress, the one who destroyed their love. She wrote about a childhood sweetheart being usurped by a homewrecker from the sky. The midnight post gained insane traction, and by early morning, it was already trending at the top. All the comments were sympathizing with her. Lily picked the most typical reply. "My brother's getting married soon. I can only give him my blessings. As long as he's happy, that's enough." And right under that comment, there was a like from Daniel's mother. "Don't cry, baby Lily. Auntie will always love you the most." The two of them sang in perfect harmony, guiding the public's anger toward me. Tens of thousands of private messages full of insults. I took a screenshot and sent it to Daniel. "Are you going to do anything about this?" He called me almost immediately. When I picked up, Daniel's deep, calm voice came through. "Zoe, my mom and Lily are just childish. They didn't mean any harm. Don't take it to heart. And the more we try to explain, the worse it'll get. If I step in now, it'll just blow up even more, and the impact would be bad. Zoe," he coaxed me softly, We're getting married the day after tomorrow. Once that happens, all the rumors will collapse on their own. Let's just quietly wait it out, okay? The hand holding the phone clenched tighter. I bit down hard on my lip. The light in my eyes faded little by little. The last bit of tolerance I had vanished without a trace. I lowered my lashes and replied softly, okay, then let's live stream the wedding. Let everyone see it for themselves. My seeming compromise put Daniel in a great mood. I'm so lucky to have you, baby. I smiled faintly. But before the wedding, let's not meet. It's bad luck. Whatever you say. After hanging up, I turned and looked out the window, as if something had broken through the soil, growing wildly, without restraint. Chapter 10. In the few days before the wedding, I stayed up countless nights. I gathered all the videos and chat screenshots I had painstakingly collected, organized them into one folder, and saved them onto a flash drive. I planned to give Daniel a special gift at the wedding. The wedding day arrived as scheduled. The makeup artist beside me gasped in admiration. Miss, you're so beautiful. I smiled faintly, my hand tightening unconsciously around the object I held. The ceremony officially began. Under everyone's gaze, wearing a white mermaid wedding gown, I slowly walked toward Daniel. He stood there in a perfectly tailored suit, elegant and noble. Zoe, do you take me as your wife? He lifted the ring, his eyes filled with tenderness and affection. I suddenly felt a venomous, jealous stare, turning my head. I met Lily's fierce, hateful gaze. I turned back, quietly meeting Daniel's eyes, so sincere, so full of expectation. Then, slowly, I opened my mouth. I'm sorry, I don't. Before the words even settled, the giant screen behind me lit up with an explosive video. A man and a woman were caught in explicit, indecent acts. The woman in the video was Lily, her face twisted in panic, her ladle-like mask completely gone as she screamed and lunged at me. I bought all copies of that video. Where did you get it? From your ex-husband. Of course. I exposed her with calm indifference. It was only at that moment that Daniel understood why Lily had broken off her engagement years ago. Because she had been married before, and had even been pregnant and had an abortion. The video wasn't long, barely 2 minutes. Then, another one began to play. From the speakers came Daniel's mother's shrill, vulgar voice, echoing through the hall. Her words were disgusting, filled with insults and humiliation directed at me. Among the guests, whispers began to ripple through the crowd. Zoe, what are you doing? Daniel roared at me. I didn't answer. Instead, I removed the crown from my head, along with the wig, revealing my shaved head. The entire hall gasped. Through the videos, everyone could clearly hear Daniel's words from that night, and saw Lily's posts on Weibo and her friends' only social media updates meant only for me. Full of mockery and humiliation. Clip after clip, photo after photo. All the years of grievance and injustice I had endured, laid bare before everyone's eyes. People began to speak up for me. Their sharp words turned into blades, cutting straight through Daniel and Lily. The scene descended into chaos. Daniel practically sprinted to the control panel and cut the power. Amid the noise and confusion, I heard Daniel's furious roar. But what did that have to do with me anymore? Dragging my long wedding dress behind me, I walked firmly toward the doors of the banquet hall. Outside, the sunlight was perfect, warm and gentle. A soft breeze brushed my cheeks. I breathed deeply, greedily, taking in the fresh air, tilting my head up toward the clouds above, like a bird breaking free from its cage. At that moment, I finally found my freedom. The sky vast, the sea endless. Some people, you never need to see again for the rest of your life. Chapter 11. In my 25 years of life, this was the first time I had spent a spring festival with family, even though we were in a foreign land. Happiness wrapped around me like a warm cocoon. It had been over 3 months since the wedding day, and my hair had already grown quite a bit. Winter in country F was especially cold, so my mom knitted me a scarf and hat herself. Sweetheart, look, don't you think this outfit is pretty? Looking into her eyes, so warm and full of love, tears welled up in mine. It's beautiful. My voice was nasal and choked. What's wrong, sweetheart? Is life here not treating you well? My appearance startled her. She rushed over, cupping my face and kissing my forehead. "Are you feeling unwell?" I shook my head in a panic. But the tears wouldn't stop flowing. Just then, a familiar male voice came from behind. I turned and saw my father walking toward me, carrying a skewer of candied hawthorn. His shoulders were soaked from the rain and snow, but his face beamed with joy. I had no idea how many streets he had run across, just to buy this single skewer of tonghulu. My sobs grew louder, drawing the attention of nearby passers-by. My mom pulled me into her arms, gently rubbing my back. "It's okay, sweetheart. From now on, you'll have a mom and dad too. From now on, I'll be someone's child too." I thought quietly to myself. How wonderful. Time passed, day by day. We celebrated the new year in Country F. Afterwards, Mom and Dad brought me back home to honor our ancestors. To my surprise, our ancestral home turned out to be in Yanqing as well. We didn't run into anyone we shouldn't have. But, after 6 months, I heard news about Daniel once again. Chapter 12. One of my journalist friends told me, after I left on the day of the wedding, a lot happened. Lily's true colors were exposed. The mask she had worn for so long was brutally ripped off. Daniel hated her to the core. Under her relentless pestering, he slapped her multiple times. Even her parents thought she was a disgrace and cut ties with her. Daniel's mother was no better. At the wedding, she pinned Lily to the ground and beat her, nearly ruining her face. Later, the situation escalated even further. The internet exploded. Daniel's entire family was doxxed, and they received all kinds of threatening letters and creepy dolls every day. Daniel's company took a major hit. Investors pulled out. Projects were halted. His assets were frozen by the bank. In an instant, Daniel became like a plague. Everyone avoided him like the devil. He went from being the rising star of the industry to a pitiful speck of dust. One time, someone even insulted him in person. His mother couldn't take it anymore, so she ran that person over with her car. She was taken away by the police afterward and sentenced to 6 months in prison for intentional assault. She had just recently been released. "Well, Zoe, doesn't that feel good?" It was Gloria's excited voice on the line. "She's a journalist. My ability to strike back at the wedding was all thanks to her. People like that scumbag couple deserve to rot. Domestic bullies. The worst kind. Let me tell you, I just heard another piece of gossip. I heard Daniel." Gloria kept rambling, but I couldn't hear a word of it. It was as if fog had suddenly surrounded me. I couldn't see clearly, couldn't hear clearly. Across the intersection at the traffic light, I spotted a familiar figure. It was Daniel. Chapter 13. The unexpected encounter left me dazed for a moment. I lowered my head and quickly walked past him. But he called out to me, "Spend over 1,000 on furniture. Get 100 off," right at the Chunfeng Road intersection. A flyer appeared in front of me. Daniel bent down slightly, then looked up. When he saw my face, he couldn't stop trembling. No longer radiant, he was now shrouded in gloom. He opened his mouth, but it was like something was stuck in his throat. "Zoe, long time no see." Daniel's voice was hoarse and low. His face was darker. His hair had some grays, and his clothes were wrinkled. There was nothing left of the once glorious golden boy. "I really didn't think I'd ever see you again." His eyes turned slightly red, carrying the joy of reunion. "I've always wanted to go abroad to find you, to apologize to you." Sweetie, it's getting late. Time to go home." Someone interrupted him. A luxury car had pulled over by the roadside. The window rolled down, and my mother's anxious voice came from inside. The butler got out and respectfully opened the car door for me. "Miss, please get in the car." I turned back and glanced at him faintly, replying calmly, "No need for an apology. A late apology is worthless." With that, I turned and got into the car, driving off without looking back. Daniel stood frozen on the spot, staring at the exhaust smoke. The flyer in his hand slipped and scattered in the wind. The next second, someone smacked the back of his head, hard. "Damn it. If you're not gonna work, then get lost. I paid you to hand out flyers, not flirt with girls. Look at you, so pathetic. Even if you hand out flyers for a month, You couldn't afford one of her handbags. Stop dreaming about swans when you're a toad. The fat man shoved Daniel, cursing nonstop. Damn it! Pick up the damn flyers and hand them out properly. If you don't bring in one customer today, I'll fire your sorry ass. With that ugly mug of yours, even sugar mamas wouldn't want you. Daniel clenched his fists tightly, his knuckles cracking. His pride crushed into dust at that moment. She'll forgive me, he murmured to himself. Zoe is soft-hearted. She'll definitely forgive me. When that happens, my family will go back to the way it was. Chapter 14. Ever since that unexpected encounter on the street, Daniel began showing up around me out of nowhere. He even went to get a haircut, got some skincare treatments done, and bought himself an ill-fitting suit. But he still couldn't hide the exhaustion written all over him. Zoe, your favorite pancake. Roses for you, what you used to want the most. I heard there's a new romantic restaurant. I made a reservation. Shall we go tonight? Zoe, the sunrise at Lin Lan is really beautiful. Let me take you there, okay? For a whole week, Daniel came up with new ways to appear before me. I treated him coldly, but it didn't put out his enthusiasm. He started chasing me again like he did back in our freshman year. But this time, I wouldn't give him any chance. Daniel, you're really pathetic. I said coldly. You think an apology makes everything okay? Then what about all the pain I've suffered over the years? What's the matter, now that Lily's gone and no one's fawning over you? You came crawling back to me? I looked down on him from above. But you're no longer worthy of me. His expression froze. The flowers fell to the ground. He struggled to speak. Zoe, is that really how you see me? I love you so much. He looked like a wounded child, full of hurt. I sneered with disdain. Daniel, stop pretending to be pitiful. Stop trying to manipulate me with your so-called love. It's worthless. Don't think I don't know what's going on in your head. I pushed aside his arm, blocking me. You think just because my parents are rich, you can use their power to make a comeback? It seemed I had exposed his true motives. Daniel's expression turned ugly. His gaze started to dodge mine. I stepped closer, pressing him harder. Everything you're going through, you brought it on yourself. If I ever forgive you, then I really must be crazy. Daniel, have some dignity for yourself. With that, I turned around without hesitation, not sparing him a single glance. Chapter 15. I thought that after all this, Daniel would finally stop bothering me. But to my surprise, he didn't. He only got worse. At the entrance of the underground parking garage, I spotted two familiar figures from a distance. Daniel's mother looked much older. Her face was full of wrinkles. Her clothes were cheap, and a pungent scent of low-grade perfume clung to her. The two of them were whispering about something with their heads down. Daniel's expression showed clear resistance. She caught sight of me from the corner of her eye. Her eyes lit up instantly. Zoe, you're finally back. With a face full of smiles, she trotted toward me. You don't know how much I missed you these past few months. Back then, I was a victim too. It was that shameless tramp Lily who tricked me. Zoe, she reached out to grab my hand, but I subtly moved away. She awkwardly withdrew her hand and continued. Auntie has always liked you. Look at you, so beautiful, so capable, so gentle and kind. Most importantly, you're generous. I believe you won't hold on to the little things from the past, right? She raised her voice deliberately, making sure others could hear. I smiled faintly and drew a clear boundary. So what you mean is, if I don't forgive you, then I'm petty? No, that's not what I meant. Then let's just part ways peacefully. With that, I walked past them and headed straight home. I hadn't gone far when I suddenly heard a loud thud behind me. Then came a gut-wrenching scream. Zoe, it's Auntie's fault. I know, but Daniel truly loves you. You don't want to forgive me? Fine. I understand. She collapsed on the ground, acting like a shrew throwing a fit, rolling and wailing like mad. But you can't be mad at Daniel. He sees you as his everything. When you were just an orphan, he threatened me with his life so he could marry you. Now you're rich and we're broke, and you just toss us aside like trash. She started spouting nonsense. Kneeling, bowing her head to the ground. Twisting the truth, people began to stop and stare. As they say, public opinion is terrifying. With this spectacle, many clueless bystanders might take her side. But what does that matter? In the end, my parents and I will be leaving soon anyway. Chapter 16. I quietly watched her performance, not saying a word. Among the onlookers, someone suddenly shouted, "Aren't they the family that made the bride shave her head so the mistress could take her place? How do they even have the nerve to show their faces?" Within minutes, the video of the scene spread online. In just a minute or two, the tide turned completely. Daniel and his mother became everyone's targets. Mockery, insults, disdain, disgust. All of it finally ignited Daniel, who had remained silent until now. The veins on his neck bulged. His eyes turned bloodshot. Like a beast that had been caged for too long, he charged into the crowd, raising his fists. He began swinging wildly. "Who the hell do you think you are to talk about me? Believe it or not, I'll make sure you don't see the sun tomorrow." He fought viciously, fists flying. His mother tried to pull him away, but he grabbed her by the hair, slammed her to the ground, and began kicking and punching her. "It's all your fault. If you hadn't helped that bitch Lily bully Zoe, she wouldn't have left me. Now I've lost everything, and you still come out here to humiliate me? If it weren't for you, Zoe would have forgiven me. Would I be living like this now? It's all because of you. I'll kill you." Daniel completely lost his mind, as if all the anger and humiliation of the past 6 months had finally found a place to explode. He couldn't hear his mother's cries or screams of pain. All he could do was raise his hand again and again, bringing it down even harder each time. "You and Lily deserve to die. Just die." His eyes burned red with fury. It wasn't until the police arrived that they managed to pull him away. Daniel was taken away in a police car. His mother lay on the ground, convulsing, foam spilling from her mouth. I took out my phone and dialed 120. That, I suppose, was my final act of mercy. Chapter 17. I only heard about what happened afterward from Gloria. The day after Daniel was arrested, my parents and I returned to Country F. Gloria told me Daniel had gone too far. He beat his mother so badly. She was admitted to the ICU in critical condition, and he paid the price for it. He was sentenced to 2 years and 3 months. "Zoe, thank God you didn't marry him." Gloria exhaled over the phone and said, "I never imagined he was hiding such violent tendencies. If you had married him, who knows if he would have ended up abusing you too." I sat lazily in the garden, soaking up the sun and sipping my coffee. Let's hope he learns to reflect in prison. After chatting a little longer with Gloria, I hung up the phone. Thinking of Daniel only left me with mixed feelings. In the flower bed, new buds had already begun to sprout. They swayed gently in the breeze, branches dancing. I picked up my phone to capture the beginning of their new life. Looking up, I saw the clouds drifting and wild geese flying overhead. "Spring has come so early here," I murmured under my breath, then tilted my head back, smiling brightly. "Mom, I want to go fly kites in the park." "All right. Once we finish lunch, the whole family will go."